Hi, Lisa Broyles here with Way Too Health MD, and this is my second video in my Treating Anxiety and Depression Naturally series based on the book Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind by Dr. Georgia Ede. In this video, I want to talk about the root causes of anxiety and depression. So basically, the three things that I like to address with functional medicine: diet, lifestyle, and genetics. So first, a little review of genetics, what really matters. People that are born with the MAO gene, people that have a fast MAO, or we call it a MAOA gene, break those hormones down too quickly. So their neurotransmitter levels are constantly low. So their body is just constantly burning through their serotonin and their dopamine. So they always just feel kind of low and anxious and depressed. And this often will run in families. So this is the genetic part of it. There's multiple other genes, but the MAO is one of the biggest ones that can affect how quickly your body uses up its own happy neurotransmitters, primarily dopamine and serotonin. So genetics you can't help, other than you can do things as I discussed in the MAO gene video in my genetics series to try to clean up that enzyme, help it work a little bit better. Second thing is diet. So I'm going to be going into what diet is recommended for people that struggle with anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, and epilepsy. And then third, lifestyle. One of the primary issues is something called insulin resistance. Millions of Americans have insulin resistance and don't even know it. And what that is when we eat too much sugar all day long, which is typically from refined carbohydrates. And you may say to me, well, Doc, I don't eat sugar. But then you start questioning people more. Well, do you eat instant oatmeal for breakfast, or instant grits, or a sugary breakfast cereal? Do you drink a lot of fruit juice or eat a lot of fruit during the day? So, fruit converts to sugar too. Bread. So if you are kind of a carb junkie like I was as a teenager and in my early 20s, I lived on bagels and pizza and chips, any kind of granola bars, anything that kind of was a grain. I loved it. Lots of sugar in all of that. And so what happens is your blood sugar is going up because of all the sugar in your foods. So your pancreas starts making extra insulin to try to bring that sugar down. And so there's this high insulin state all the time. And the brain has a certain amount of insulin receptors. So when it gets flooded with insulin all the time, then the brain can't use its sugar appropriately anymore. I want you to think of your brain as a hybrid engine. The brain continuously needs to sip on a little bit of glucose throughout the day as fuel for that brain to help you think. Okay, we're also talking about cognitive health here. People with brain fog, this is relevant for you too. So if your brain is not able to process its glucose appropriately because of insulin resistance, then you're going to be in a constant state of brain fog, and you're going to struggle more with mood disorders such as anxiety and depression. When you're in a high insulin state all the time, it causes a lot of what we call oxidative stress, and it damages mitochondria, which are your little energy cells. One neuron can hold up to 2 million mitochondria, which are what are charging those neurons and helping your brain to think. And these little batteries, if you will, are damaged by that high sugar state. You get this oxidative stress, which is where your body starts throwing mini oxygen grenades, starts damaging the neurons, it damages the blood vessels in the brain, and it kills the mitochondria. So then you don't have the fuel that your brain needs to think clearly. So the opposite is true from a low sugar state, which the lower the sugar, the higher something called a ketone is. And ketones are fatty acids that your body breaks down more like a log in a fire. So think of sugar like throwing a newspaper on a fire to get a fire started. But you can't just feed a fire continuously with newspaper and expect it to burn. You need some logs, and that's where ketones come in. So ketones are from fat in our diet, and they are broken down by the brain like a log is in a fire. They burn for a long time, more efficiently than sugar, but your brain needs both. So that's why I say it's a hybrid engine. You need both the ketones and the sugar. So insulin resistance is one of the primary reasons why people develop brain fog, anxiety, and depression. So in the next few videos, I'm going to explain how you can resolve insulin resistance, fix this oxidative stress and inflammation. Thank you.